Hello, my name is Emmanuel Sabonnadière. I'm the CEO of CEA-Leti. So this is CEA-Leti with our clean rooms, and today the weather is absolutely beautiful in Grenoble. CEA-Leti is the most advanced innovation center for disruptive technologies in microelectronics. But let me jump in what is guiding us in our journey. First, the year 2020 was a very unpredictable and special year for all of us. But one of the effects of this COVID-19 was to accelerate dramatically the development of the digital. Digital has grown more than 40% over the year against 10% in a regular year. This is telling us that our systems and our global architecture was strong enough and reliable enough to accept such an increase over one night, by the way. So this is also telling us that innovation will continue to grow faster and faster because the development of the digital will probably remain on a trend of 30 to 40% year over the years. Also, we know a major trend. We see in the more than more activity that the connected device and the intelligent device will develop more and more. It is said that in 2030, more than 60 billion of connected devices will be on this planet. This is huge, and that's also telling us that the communication of proximity will continue to increase dramatically, and also that artificial intelligence will be more and more involved and installed in our connected systems. This is also telling us that we will have 6 connected devices per user in 2030. This is credible and this is realistic. Think about having your car connected, your mobile connected, your PC connected, your personal assistant at home connected, and so on, and so on, and so on. A major trend for our industry. Following that, and we've touched that last year, we can see that the fusion in between the digital world and the real world will accelerate. This is telling us that tomorrow, education, transportation, mobility, or healthcare will be more and more partly virtual, digital, partly real. And this connection in between both will be something absolutely major we'll have to consider in our industry. Following this trend, the new frontiers of microelectronics will be probably about bioelectronics. Think about the fact that the world has been able to develop the vaccine in less than 12 months, where in a regular world it was more 3 years and more. This is by new technology, biotechnology, biotherapy, and in this biotechnology and biotherapy, the link in between microelectronics and what your body is able to tell to the microelectronics will increase dramatically in the coming years. So this link in between the data coming from our health and how we capture that and we are able to monitor that will become more and more visible and more developed in every part of our industry. We can also say that 2020 is telling us that hardware is back. This means that the big players mostly in the clouds, developed by the clouds or through the clouds, now are investing a lot of money and a lot of efforts to manage and to own their own hardware. We can see how it can make the difference. Think about Tesla. It's a brand new company in the automotive sectors, and now the value of Tesla into the marketplace is 3 or 4 times bigger than its biggest competitors, just because Tesla is able to demonstrate that it's managing its electronics and all the electronics device. So you can see by this very simple example how electronics and hardware electronics is making a big difference today. Mobile phone is and will remain extremely centric in our microelectronics world. Mobile is, and everybody knows that, the product which has been the most sold ever into the world. Since 2007, more than 10 billion of units have been sold into the market. That's telling us clearly that even if more than more could be oriented in multiple devices, in the mobility, in a lot of sectors like healthcare and so on, mobile and all what is on the mobile is and will remain very key for our industry. And mobile also will be very centric to develop all the communication of proximity that will allow us to connect the device from each to each other. So when I said 6 devices per user in 2030, probably the main connection in between all of these devices or the main link will come from the mobile. So we'll have to continue to invest massively in the mobile, and this is what we are doing. Back to edge AI and to AI. So you can see in this slide that AI can touch multi-part of our industry. And now the various markets are linked with the consumption, the energy consumption linked with AI. What is about 100 watt is more in the cloud part. What is below 10 watt is into the edge. And into the edge, you can say edge AI, embedded AI, or AI for IoT. AI for IoT will be less than 1 microwatt in terms of consumption, because otherwise AI couldn't be deployed everywhere as it has to be. If I go back to the cloud, here in CEA-Leti, we have developed very interesting new technology module, which are get all around, which is a way to touch 3 nano and 2 nano. So this is the next step after the FinFET technology, probably the one which will allow us to turn the physics and to turn these very ultimate nodes. But you know, AI could be developed in the cloud and will be developed in the cloud because you need a lot of data and a lot of power. But once you have developed your algorithm of AI, you have 2 big schools. I will say more the American one and the Chinese one, who wants to keep the data into the cloud, and this is this school. And the other school, probably more the European one, we want to leave the data where the data has been generated. And for that, if you want to apply AI system on this local data, you have to move your algorithm from the cloud down to the device. And this is what we call edge AI. And for edge AI, to allow it, the roadmap from now up to 2030 is based on 6 main technologies. And on these technologies, what is absolutely vital and critical is somewhere the memory. In the memory part, here in CEA-Leti, we have done some very advanced innovations around the consumption of the memory. So we try to put all the memory together to create a neuronal network, and this neuronal network has to have a consumption which is less than 1 picojoule per synaptic event. That means to allow to carry locally most of the data and to treat most of the data locally. So thanks to this neuronal network and the efficiency of the neuronal network, we try to rebalance the part of the computation into the CMOS against the part into the neuronal network. So this is some advanced works that has been presented and were presented in IEDM this year. The second part for edgeAI, again, this is a 3D multi-core chiplet. We believe that in the future, you won't increase the computation power just by changing your technology. You have to add, or to be able to add, some portion on an existing chip, and for that, the chiplets are absolutely key. For the chiplet, we have demonstrated the numbers of layers, and we have presented in ISCC this paper, which has been very, very recognized as one of the key advanced technology for chips and for the reuse of the existing one. To develop edgeAI, we need some new platforms. And for that, with our colleagues of IMEC in Belgium and Fraunhofer in Germany, we as a Leti, we have created a European platform when we'll try to make beneficial for users or academics, industrial users of academic, the best of our free RTOs. In fact, we have here in Grenoble probably one of the most advanced technologies for the more than more around FDSOI and the embedded memories. Whereas you know, IMEC is extremely strong and probably world leader for FinFET and also very strong in standalone memories, where Fraunhofer is very good at architectures and 3D packaging. And if you take the best of the three, probably in Europe, we have the most advanced resources to create the breakthrough needed in terms of technology for the next generation of edge AI chips. This is what we will do and what we will continue to pursue at the European level to create something visible at the world level. And that will be my conclusions. Nothing can be done today if we are not part of the green equation. If we look at microelectronics today, we are generating more or less 4% of the CO2 emissions worldwide. This is too much as state, but furthermore, with the development, as we have explained, of 60 billion devices connected intelligent in 2030, at the end, the part of the microelectronics and the electronics could switch to 15 or 20 or more into the green equation. This is totally unacceptable. And the next big things for all our industry is now to turn our mind in the way we developed our future technologies. You know, in the past, and we were driven by the Moore law, performance was the key because performance means better productivity. And our world was driven by that. Tomorrow, we have now to consider performance and consumption. So this is a balance between the performance and how much we consume in terms of what. So what we are seeking as a kind of figure of merit for the future is a chip 10 teraops for less than 1 watt. This is not done, this is not given, but thanks to all the technologies we have developed here in CEA-Leti, and thanks the European platform we are building with our colleagues of IMEC and Fraunhofer, I'm extremely confident that in the future we will be able to produce something that will help all the population around the globe, that will create value for the industry, and that will help to resolve the green equation for the planet. This is really our target, and really, I hope you share that with me. Happy to have shared these minutes with you, and have a great day.